Dawson, silly.
Hi.
What's up, guys?
How are you all doing? I guess we'll wait.
Yeah, we're gonna let the room fill up.
Sorry.
We'll let the room fill up.
Let's get comfortable.
I know the playoffs on, trust me. I want to watch the playoffs too. But we got something to talk about tonight.
We're talking about a very interesting topic, so y'all get comfortable. I already have my water.
Already have my wine. Cheers. Family joining in. What's good? We on Instagram and what?
Facebook. Where are you going? Oh. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started to keep this short because I know he's trying to get back to the playoffs. So we hope everybody has had a beautiful Sunday, weekend, all of that. We are gonna talk about sex today.
Yeah, I say Seggs.
Seggs.
I don't know if we're gonna get flagged.
So welcome to your Seggs education class, you guys.
Oh, Britnee's leading. Okay.
Yes, we're gonna have a little education today, you guys. Anyways, so we wanted to share because so many of y'all like I see some of the remarks still are funny. So a lot of times, like we get so many comments, y'all. I try to do my best with getting to everybody, but sometimes it's really difficult. So I do see some of the comments, and a lot of people ask like, oh my gosh, are y'all having more kids? They'll ask like, oh my gosh, you know, how is sex in the bed with y'all? I'm like,
Tell them that.
So about that. So let's just go ahead and break the ice. He is snipped, so our chances of having children are like slim to negative.
No, ain't no
15.
slim in there. Ain't no queen and slim over here. It's nothing. We
are done having children. Our daughter is literally the deal breaker for children.
Deal breaker.
She was it for me. My son, he was okay. He wasn't too hype, but he was, you know, enough. And then my daughter is a Sagittarius. I was done. I'm a Taurus. You know, there's some people that believe in zodiacs and don't. I'm not saying I believe or don't believe in zodiacs, but I don't think that a Taurus and a Sagittarius should occupy space together as far as the female realm. So
that's not healthy. It
was a dub. So he had to go get that snip. Yeah, and some of y'all have seen our video from yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday when I had my birthday photo shoot. And my birthday's not until May 7th, y'all. A lot of y'all were telling me happy birthday, so thank you so much. But it's not my birthday. My birthday's May 7th. So yeah, but yesterday, you know, I had makeup and I was all dolled up with my contacts in and stuff, and he was acting a fool. That's another reason why he got snipped, because
oh my God, if y'all saw those videos.
I just couldn't do it. It was too much. But anyways, so yeah, so the kids question, we're not having any more kids. We're done. It's done. As far as sex with us in the bedroom, it is interesting because I am extremely shy and he is not. So sex with us is just that. I am extremely shy and he is not. So if you have not seen our YouTube about our and I'm gonna let him talk in a second, but I'm gonna get out my innocent version first.
Take your time.
So if y'all have not seen our YouTube video where we talked about our sex life and our marriage, I was a virgin when I got with him and he was not. He is my one and only partner, so yeah, it's a little bit different. And I grew up in a church household. Not saying that he didn't, but you know, I was very I grew up in a very strict Christian household with my grandparents, my mom. So So I didn't get the opportunity to have like a Jezebel kind of lifestyle or anything like that. Like, I was raised to save myself for marriage, so that's what I did. I dated a guy in high school who was also a virgin, and we had that same understanding, like, we can be together, but until you put a ring on my finger, we're not getting married. I mean, we're not having sex. So that was understood. And when I brought that information to Dorian, he was like, no, he wasn't with it.
I did respect it.
He respected it for 2 days, and then he was like, yeah, so that's dead.
But I wasn't pressing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it happened, it happened.
No, he put his little light skin charm on me, and I just couldn't help myself. And for those that are getting ready to ask, because I feel like it's coming, the reason why I was so stuck on saving myself for marriage was not because my mommy told me, not because my grandparents told me, not because the Bible told me. That was a part of it, but it was like 2% of it. A majority of the reason why I decided to stay celibate until marriage was because I did not feel like it was fair to go to my husband, who I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and be like, yeah, like, before I met you, you know, I know kids are crazy in college. I decided that I was going to, you know, have fun in college. So I slept with a bunch of guys and, you know, maybe some girls, and I just decided, you know, it's time for me to clean myself up and get married. And I didn't want to have that conversation with my husband because I thought that was unfair to him. I thought that coming to my husband and saying, you know, yeah, I did XYZ before we got married, I thought that would be a lot of baggage to unpack, especially from a woman, because we have a lot of emotional ties. And I thought that that would be unfair to offload to a man, you know, who's really committed to being with you. Not saying that it's not fair when a guy does it to a woman, but unbiased, I think women can handle a lot more than men. Like, if, you know, I can handle the fact that he's dealt with other women. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean that it's not a lot to deal with and a lot to unpack. But I feel like I'm strong enough to handle it. But I feel like if you tell a man, like, the woman that he loves, I mean, look at Best Man. Like, he found out that she slept with his friend. Granted, it was his friend, but it's like, bro, you're really upset because she had somebody other than you. You can't handle that, but you done dealt with how many chicks being in football?
Not as bro code though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like, y'all get so sensitive when a woman steps out one time. It can be one time.
Here's the thing.
And I didn't want to deal with that. I was like, y'all too sensitive. I'm gonna just keep my legs closed until God brings me my husband, because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want that to be an issue in our marriage. So I just decided just to keep my legs closed. He did not. So the virgin meets the hoe, and then we created.
We're still using titles.
We're still using titles.
Oh, okay.
Because he was nasty.
A saved hoe.
It's a reborn, a born again hoe. It's what you are.
All right. Listen,
go ahead, tell your story now.
I didn't have any emotional ties, and dang, it seems like every time we get in front of the camera, it's almost like a confessional for me, because one, I have to release to the public, you know, my past, and two, there could possibly be somebody that I have had relations with that's watching. So
99% I'm just playing.
So for that reason, I consider this like a little mini confessional. But you know, honestly, in that space when I was getting around, I wasn't emotionally tied to any of the females. It was a release for me being out on my own, and that just happened to be something that I used as part of it. It was sports that did it. It was the gym. It was being outside of class when I was supposed to be in class. Different things that I couldn't do at home, just straight rebel mode. And unfortunately, I started to sleep around because I started to go down that path. But again, like when it comes to men and women having multiple partners, we don't sleep with intentions of putting our feelings involved. It's literally strictly physical. At least for most men that I know, it's strictly physical. But you know, like years later, or even maybe like a week later, it was like, you know, on to the next. So meeting a woman.
You said a week later. Child, you gave yourself time. It was like a day.
I'm trying to be modest.
A day. A day later.
It was bad, man. It was bad. I don't. If there's anything I could take back, I really do take that back, because it wasn't even like I wasn't even raised right. You know what I'm saying? Like, had my mama heard all of this that was going on, she'd be like, you know, that's not you. So it was just a me following the crowd type of joint. But nah.
I just read a comment.
And then on top of that, like, I was doing all of that when I was on the same campus as Britnee. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to have my cake and eat it, per se. So it's like, man, I was really treading on thin ice with her, and it came to a point where I was trying to drop all of that. You know, like, I really cleaned up my act, and you know, years later, y'all see the fruition of what happened.
Them jury heads, honey.
She said them jury.
Stressful.
But, you know, we here now. We have had a lot of these questions. We've dealt with a lot of the baggage that we both have brought into the relationship. So sex for us now is completely between me and her. You know, all of the girls are out of her head. All of my experiences are out because, like I said, most of the times when it happened, I forgot about it. It was drunk nights. So it's like, you know, I'm completely invested in our time together. It's complete intimacy, just us, nothing else involved. And
sorry to cut you off, but I saw a comment that somebody said, and I didn't want to forget it because I'm old, but the comment was just saying, you know, what if the roles were reversed? Like, what if women didn't have those feelings? Baby, I wish that we could go into relationships, or not even relationships, but just like sexual adventures without any strings attached. Like, we just don't feel that we have to do it. And I think sometimes some women are capable of doing that. I just feel like at a certain point it becomes a defense mechanism. Like, we really just set ourselves up to go into something and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna just hit it and quit it and move on. And I feel like that's a defense mechanism because our chemical DNA is made up for us to be emotionally attached. And it's unfortunate that some of us are that way and some of us operate more in that emotional side than others. But I wish that we could do that because, you know, even being married, y'all already understand if you know me or just know us through social media, I really love my husband. Like, it's been it since I was 14 years old. Like, there is no question in my mind. However, sometimes it gets really emotional for me because I'm like, I wish that I would have explored more. I wish that I would have slept with other people. And it's not even because I was trying to be a hoe or, you know, explore other penises, but it was literally because I felt like when I listen to some of my other friends who have explored and been with other guys, it's like, they have something to stem from. They have something to, you know, like pull from and be like, oh no, this is what I like sexually. This is what I care for, you know, this is how I like foreplay. And I think that was important for me as a woman because I got into a relationship with somebody who already knew what he liked, how he liked it, when he was going to come, when he was going to do this. And I was like, so what is that? Where is this part of the, like,
she was like still wet, like, girl.
Y'all, I had to go on Google and like look up the part of the vag because I was like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. Oh, you touch that? What do you do? He was like, have you never played with yourself? And I was like, I mean, I did in high school, but I didn't do it with the intention of like figuring myself out. I did it with the intention of, well, somebody told me to do it. And I was like, okay. And I didn't like it because it was weird, but it was because I didn't know. Don't laugh at me, y'all. I did not know that was I didn't know that that's how it's supposed to feel. So I just stopped because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a sin. I'm not supposed to be doing it. So I just never explained. I've never really been a sexual person. Like, that's never been something that I've been into or something that I've wanted to explore because anytime sex was introduced from a Christian standpoint, it was like, oh, that's a Jezebel spirit, you know, it's this. And I was like, sex kind of scared me, you know. And then dealing with like sexual traumas growing up, it was like, I don't think this is for me. Like, I think this is something that could just be off the table completely in my relationships. But then when I started getting into more romantic and serious relationships, I realized that men thrive on that physical side of women. And I realized that at that moment, that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna be gay full time because these men want too much. I ain't got time. I just couldn't do it. And I did explore being with women, and it was a different ball game because I'm like, dang, I'm with a woman now, and her demands are so different. Like, we're women, but I was dating women who knew what they wanted. And no, I have never slept with a woman ever. I've done some things, but I I ain't never did no scissoring. We ain't do that. That's not for me. But you know, even the things that I have done, you know, it was a different experience. Like I just wasn't, it wasn't giving. Like I would just say that, and I'm sorry if you are a woman that I have dated, baby, it wasn't given. It wasn't you. It just wasn't for me. I don't know what else to tell you. As my mom told me, I am strictly dickly. Like, I don't know what else to tell y'all. It just wasn't for me. And no, I'm not one of those people that decided I wanted to be gay because a man screwed me over. I was born this way. I know people say that. I'm dead serious. Nobody taught me how to be gay. It wasn't introduced to me by a friend. I literally was born that way, and I decided a few years ago that is not the lifestyle that I wanted to live. So I decided to, even within my marriage, like I was gay and married. I told people all the time, we struggle with that really bad, because I was really attracted to women being married, and it got to the point where he was like, you got to make a choice. Like, you can't have both. You cannot flirt with women and be like, oh, I'm married to a man, and that be it, because you're not just flirting with them, like you're emotionally involved. And I'm like, you right. Yeah. Because if this fails, I'm gonna go be with her, and it's gonna be that. But yeah, that's the only reason I wasn't for that as well. Because I like, for a marriage, to me, I don't care if you go marry a flower. I don't give a damn. If you're committed to that one specific thing, I don't feel like anything else should infiltrate that commitment. We did that under God. And you know, for a lot of fellas that ask me like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like, would you be okay with her bringing in another partner? Like, y'all don't do that? That's not fun to y'all? No. Because at that point, I feel like I'm instantly gonna get struck down by lightning. And that's his side of it. And for me, I know that I would enjoy it too much and probably end up destroying my marriage, because, you know, for most people that get into a relationship where they try the polygamy thing, you know, or they try the whole, let's do a threesome. When you're straight, like 100% straight as a woman, that's cute. You know, you can have a threesome. But when you're saved, and when you're married, and when you're also battling with homosexuality, it's not cute. It's not the same outcome, because I'm not finna get into bed with this female and it just be like kikiing and rainbows. Like, nah, I'm trying to make you like in rotation. Like, I'm not finna just do this for sport. Like, these dimples look cute on the outside, but please understand it's a different ball game. But that's why I had to got an alter ego. I had to give up that lifestyle, because child, there were some times where females were just falling in love just by conversation. I'm like, I am married. I can't do this with you. You do flirt though. It's not even on purpose. It's the dimples. Like, we can't really take you serious in a serious conversation. We just see that you showing us dimples, so she obviously like me. It's not on purpose. I'm so serious. I do not flirt on purpose, y'all. I just try to be nice, and my shyness is so bad that it just takes over. It's bad. But yeah, I don't know. Sex for us has been very interesting, because I think it was when we started doing these lives and people started asking us questions and just sharing their stories with us, that we really sat down and had a real turning point conversation about our sex life. Because, and it was like 3 days that we had like a constant conversation that turned into an argument, that turned into resolution. Like it was like rough, because for him it's like, that's my love language. Sex is my love language. Physical touch is my love language. And I'm like, well, that's not my love language. We're gonna have to shake hands and whoop-de-whoop and keep it pushing. Like, that's not my love language. And I understand, you know, that's how you feel connected to me, but he was like, but that's how I receive love. Yeah. And I was like, ooh. And it's not necessarily just sex. Like, men that say physical touch is our love language, most women just think, oh well, he's just asking for sex all the time. It's not even that. Yeah. It's as satisfying as words of affirmation just for you to come rub on our back. We sit in there watching a game or something, and you come sit there and rub on my back. Oh my God. Yeah, now that's gonna turn me on, of course. Doing your love language, quality time, you know what I'm saying? She's sitting there probably, you know, panties wet, whatever. That may be the case. Oh, bye. But it's not necessarily all the time sex. Because sometimes we don't get tired. I don't get tired. But if we ever did, you know what I'm saying, just rubbing on my arm or something, or just sitting there
and you know, connecting in some type of way physically helps.
Yeah. I don't know, but I thought it was important for us to have this conversation because y'all really be asking us some questions. And I'm, to be very honest, I'm like the open one. I like to share, and I've become a lot less open, but we're learning how to balance being open and honest and not being like telling y'all a social security number kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like relationships, so many of y'all message us about relationship advice, or you tell us about your relationships, or ask advice specifically on how to get out of an abusive relationship, or how to, you know, kind of transition your relationship to the next level. And I think that it's important that normal everyday people, because that's exactly what we are. Like, you can catch us at Kroger, Whole Foods, Target. Like, we're just regular
we just
people.
ran into somebody. Shout out, what was her name? Mika, something like that.
Yes.
At Whole Foods.
Oh, I remembered it. I was saying it over and over again in my head. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was.
If you in Atlanta, you probably bumped into it.
Yeah. Like, we're just regular people, but I think it's important that regular people share the truth about relationships, the truth about marriage, the truth about all of that, because it's not easy. And looking at people, you know, even I like to use the example of Rashida and Kirk, because they're kind of, as far as in Atlanta, they're kind of like the couple that everybody has seen fall apart and come back together. Like, not trying to be away, because we don't know them personally, but we know them well enough to be able to connect if we need to and pull up if we need to. However, you know, it's weird seeing a couple that has money that is accessible, and all of that, like, go through stuff and then bounce back. Like, not trying to be funny, money kind of helps make things better, because you can pay for the best therapist, you can pay for excursions, you can pay for, you know, different things to go out of town and out of the country to get your marriage back on track. But when you, like, depending on Biden to refill your food stamps card, and you're depending on the STEMI, like when you're depending on your job to make sure that that PTO gets approved so you can have time for your marriage, or hoping that your job covers, you know, your insurance, I mean your therapy and stuff like that, you know, it hits a little different because you have to try a little harder. You know, you have to work and dig a little bit deeper to figure out, okay, how am I going to make this marriage work between our kids, between work, between, you know, my side hustle, between this, between sleep, between my friends. Like, how am I supposed to make this work? And when you have money, it's like, I mean, I could just pay and we can just go out in Mexico and just, you know, get a vacation, because we need time away. We ain't got that kind of time. We ain't got that kind of money. You know, you have to sit down on your little rinky-dink couch and figure out, what books are we about to read that are available for free or under $10 on Kindle or Amazon. Like, how can we do this as easy and seamless as possible, without having to, you know, do all the glitz and glam? And I think that that's important for people that are just regular to share. Like, marriage is hard.
It's important for us to control our narrative, because I feel like a lot of people, once they start to get clout, they start to embrace the clout so much so that they forget where they came from, and or like how they started. And for y'all watching, like, we always reiterate, like, you can relate to us. We're going through the same hardships as y'all. You know what I'm saying? The whole Rashida and Kirk thing, it's a lot easier. They have that money accessible. For us, it's not as accessible. So doing things around the house, picking up, we both have to pick up in different roles, and then you want to add sex in there. It's like, no, I don't have time for that. That being one person's love language, or we have to pick up work so much so that we stop, you know, sitting down on the couch watching Netflix series together, which is her love language, is that quality time thing. Y'all have to pick and pull from different things. So throughout our journey, it's very important that we continue to tap in with y'all so y'all can see how we're working through our own valleys and woes. And we all kind of grow as a community. And if it ever got to the point where we got so big time where, you know, we were on a TV show or something, we would still more than likely be doing this, because we're gonna be tripping with y'all as well. Like, did y'all see us on TV?
And I love when y'all message us that. Like, it warms my heart when y'all are really grateful that I respond to your messages. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't think you were gonna respond, baby. I live for responding to y'all's messages. Like, I talked to somebody the other day on Instagram that was like, thank you so much for responding. I didn't think you would respond to me. And I'm like, girl, I am a stay-at-home mom, okay? I am a social media influencer, yes, but I live for adult conversation, okay? Please message me. I don't be doing nothing. Like yesterday, y'all really showed a lot of love to our video, and we had over 150 messages that I sat and scrolled on my phone and went through each one and responded to each one, and that was just on Facebook. That wasn't even Instagram.
I ain't got time for that. I'll go like y'all message, but I ain't gonna respond.
I read all of them. If you send me a long paragraph, I read every part of the paragraph. I send voice memos. I do all of that. I literally sit because it means something for us to really connect with y'all and really share like our real stories, our real lives, give you real advice, and not just like pass over it. Like I put myself in a situation when I reach out to influencers or people who have all these number K followers, as I call them, like these 100K followers or 50K followers, and you reach out to them and they don't even respond. Like they'll read it and like it, and then they don't say anything, or they'll be so like bland about it, and I'm like, you got the clout that you got because you were an inspiration to somebody, or you did something that required people to want to follow you. So when somebody comes and slides in your DMs, keep that same energy, because you didn't get to your 50K, you didn't get to your 100K by just appearing. Like, yeah, you would have been cute and you could be cute, but you inspired somebody along the way. So when somebody's messaging you for advice, they're thanking you for showing up on the platform. You know, I think it's important, especially as influencers, to show back up for people, because y'all are the reason why, you know, we're getting deals, we're getting attention, you know, we're spreading like wildfire. Like y'all are the reasons. And it's crazy to me that people just don't want to even respond to the message or just be so bland about it.
Yeah, you
like,
don't know who you talking to. That person will probably get on and be like, oh, I remember you messaged me and helped me through this time. I want to fly you out. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's not always for payoff. Like we're generally just trying to give back what we've gone through to possibly help the next person. Because this shit ain't fun. Relationships are fun. They are a blast. But just like having kids, sometimes that shit sucks.
Sometimes it's good days, sometimes it's bad days.
You know? So
it is.
It means a lot.
It's a daily grind.
It really is.
But yeah, I think that y'all definitely need to, if you're in a relationship, really have that conversation about, you know, intimacy, what your expectations are, because I think I talked about it and then we got off topic, but you know, we went through 3 days of a lot of turmoil because we never really sat down and had the conversation about our sex life and what our expectations were. And you know, I understood his love language of physical touch and everything, but at the same time I was like, I don't know, like I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't like being touched. And as we started warming up to each other, and you know, he asked me like, what do you like in the bedroom? I was like, I don't know, like I don't sit down and think about what I like in the bedroom. I just kind of show up, and if you know, you tickle the spot, then you tickle the spot. If you don't tickle the spot, then maybe we'll try again tomorrow. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Where's the spot?
I don't know.
But I gotta touch you to find that out. That's the thing.
So it's like, you know, if you hit it, you hit it. If you don't, then that's fine. Like, we'll just go watch TV or something. But it's like, you know, it's important for y'all to have those conversations, because sometimes it takes one person stepping up and saying, okay, let me lead and let's see where this goes. Or let's just try an exercise. You know, let's just see if we can start with intimacy without it leading to sex. And then let's see if we lead to sex, if something's going to happen. You know, and let's learn this new route together. And that's something that we really had to practice, because it was hard. Like, I was like, I don't know what I like. I don't know if I like, you know, you kissing on my neck. Like sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. And it is what it is. Like some days you hit and some days you don't. But I think it was very important for us to have that conversation, because it got to the point where it was like, okay, we got to do something, because he was like, there's nothing I could do that turns you on. And I'm like, if you feed me, I will be good.
Oh, so for my fellas that's on here, for my 2 fellas,
don't do that.
All y'all girls just be taking over this joint. But for my fellas that's on, one thing that may help you in your relationship, if you're going through this a similar situation where it just seems like she's not turned on by anything. First of all, you need to understand why she's not turned on. It may not necessarily be you, but you have to, like she said, you have to lead in some type of way. Open up communication and be intentional with y'all time. So find time, bro. That's your wife, that's your girl that you're trying to, you know, propose to. You got to make that time to dig into her thought process, dig into what makes her tick, things like that. That's the beginning stages. It don't just, oh, you know, she opened up to me this day, I'm getting something tonight. Nah, it's a process. Sex goes in seasons, especially in marriage. She has the mindset of, this is a forever thing, and if I bust it open now for the next 3 months, then it ain't gonna be nothing to look forward to in 3 years. So y'all have to develop a deep connection over days. Like, this thing has to be so natural that it just happens and you don't even know how it got there. Both of y'all have to be in tune like that. And are we there? No. We're still growing this snowball, you know what I'm saying? But we both make intentions each day to show up for each other in little ways, little deposits. Me, the other day, I just came in here and separated the laundry for her. Little things, bro. Put up the dishes without her asking me to. She got somewhere to be. Some dishes. She got somewhere to be. Make sure when she come back that the bed is made. Over the weekend, I didn't do that. I was tired. And she got heated at me for that. I knew it. I got up when she was gone. I was like, no, I'm gonna catch this nap. And she got home and I heard her mouth like I knew she was. But at least I'm that much in connection to know, like, oh, you gotta get that. At least I'm that much in connection to know, like, what's going to set her off and what's going to set her on. So start with the little deposits to add up to the big payoff.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go to these messages real quick. Oh yes, this is, my husband had to understand it was mental first and physical second. Yes. Yeah. Mary, oh boy.
Yeah, you hit a female in her emotions, and it's not to play games on your wife like, oh, I'm a dissector, I'm gonna play emotional games. No, but you have to understand your wife. Like, you really have to, y'all have to be one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand why she has that look on her face. It didn't just happen at 8 p.m. That happened all the way at 11 p.m. when you woke up and you left the damn toilet seat up. So now all day she's upset at the fact that you still didn't catch the fact that you left the toilet seat up at 11 p.m. 8 o'clock come around, you try to touch on that back neck. Nah, it's not happening, player. Go to bed. Go to bed. Get you a beer. Go to bed.
Yes. Sorry, I was looking, making sure. I think somebody asked a question on Facebook. I'm looking. Oh, thank you. Somebody said I have a gorgeous smile. Y'all can have these dimples. I'm trying to tell you.
No, they're mine.
Who child? Let me see.
And y'all, because I did have like 2 people that hit me up about sending us like gifts, not through the P.O. box, but like digital gifts on Instagram and Facebook right now. Maybe y'all can, you know, vote on our behalf, but right now Facebook got us under this monetization lockdown for whatever reason, so we can't tap into those gifts that y'all.
They got mad because y'all was liking us too much.
Man, pretty much. Something that happened in February, which is actually their fault. I hope we don't get flagged for this. But yeah, to be real, it was a video we put up, they took down, we appealed it, and they put it back up and pretty much said, my bad. And then they locked us out. So yeah, we going through some stuff, but that's the part of us growing, right? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see black creators grow up as much as we grow. Which is a thing. It is a terrible thing. Yeah, it really is. They're stifling a lot of black creators, which is why TikTok is slow to growth. Instagram is booming. Facebook is booming. We haven't really seen too much of a turn down besides in our monetization. But yeah, stifling black creators is a thing. So that's why we continue to do this, and we try to tap into all of their features. Yeah. But when those live gifts are back up, we'll let y'all know.
Oh yes, so we have somebody on our Instagram live now, King Pop WS. He has some really amazing popcorn.
Yes, sir.
So y'all please go and blow his TikTok up. Follow him. He is what did he say? 200 followers away from being able to go live on TikTok. Yeah. So y'all please go ahead and do that. We are really like pause. This is the last thing we're gonna say. We're gonna go. But we are really serious about promoting and helping black entrepreneurs, small business owners, creators all of that. Like, we are here for all of that because we've done the entrepreneur thing. We're
Yeah.
still doing the entrepreneur thing. So we understand. So when y'all send us stuff, we don't just take it and then y'all never hear from us. No,
Yeah.
we blow y'all stuff up. Like, somebody sent me clothes. I literally only wear the t-shirts that I got sent, which I got 3 t-shirts sent to me, and clothes. When I go out in public, I wear the clothes. When I'm in the house or I'm running my errands, I wear my t-shirts, like, at all times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't play.
I personally have a pet peeve about one thing with black entrepreneurs. If you are going to promote your business and if you are serious about your business, please be diligent in promoting yourself as well. Be diligent in sticking to it. See it through, whatever that means. Set that goal, write it down. If you feeling, 2 months, a bad streak, no sales, keep going. You have a goal that you have to reach. At least say, I made it to September when I said I need to reach so and so amount of followers. Because one thing about me is I'm not going to promote somebody that's not going to promote themselves. I'm not going to work harder than you are. I was a graphic designer for a long time, and I still am. It's not as hard as I used to because you just BS. But to be honest, there will be times where we would go hard on people's brands. They would promote it for a week and then go ghost. So please, if this is something that you want to do, we don't mind. We really don't mind promoting you as hard as you should be promoting yourself. But please make sure that it is something that you will see through yourself and not looking for other promoters or entrepreneurs to do it for you. This is yours. And that's it.
And yes, we love it, y'all. But we thank y'all so much for tuning in with us. We enjoy y'all. Thank you all for the messages and the love, because I love it. I wake up to it every day and I love it. But yeah, y'all, we will see you next Sunday. At least live, but we'll see you on videos everywhere else.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Good night, y'all. Y'all have a good week.